Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston. I'm the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. I want to get right into this. And yesterday, I introduced another passage in a chain of connections. And I've got to tell you what, folks, in my book, Elijah Has Come, a Solution for Romans 11, 25 to 27, I developed these connections in depth, exhaustively. Well, I don't know if exhaustively is the right word, but nonetheless, I really go into good detail, demonstrating without any kind of a doubt the direct connection. Now, here's what I see. All right. I've already shared with you that Isaiah 65 and 66, the coming of the Lord to bring in the new creation, is the coming of the Lord of Matthew 25:31 and following. And again, virtually no one denies that. However, it goes deeper than that. Isaiah 66, the coming of the Lord, is when the Lord would fully repay his enemies. Isaiah 66, verse 6. But you see, Isaiah 66 is just a repeat, a reiteration of Isaiah 59, in which the Lord saw in this prophetic vision the time of Israel's sin, the sin of shedding innocent blood. Now, look, I could go into that in great detail. I think you're familiar with the fact, probably most of you, with the fact that in the New Testament we have a consistent testimony from Jesus and his apostles that one of the key sins of Israel, I'm using that term Israel in its comprehensive term, one of the key sins of Israel, stated on page after page after page, both in the Gospels, even in the epistles, was the sin of shedding innocent blood. Shedding the blood of Jesus, shedding the blood of his apostles and prophets. That sin, that offense against God, is magnified in the book of Revelation. Anyone that would try to develop an eschatology divorced from that theme of martyr vindication is not doing justice to the biblical testimony. And look, I was raised in an environment in which that doctrine, that theme and that motif was basically, kind of shunted off to the back 40. It was not developed, never. But it's undeniable. So here we have in the New Testament a reflection on these Old Testament passages. Now again, remember that direct correlation that very, 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 very few commentators deny between Isaiah 65, 66, Matthew chapter 25, 31 and following, okay? If that connection is correct, I believe it's absolutely correct, I believe it's totally undeniable, then that likewise means that Isaiah 59 is directly related to Matthew 25, 31 and following. But wait a minute. If Isaiah 59 is related to Matthew chapter 25, 31 and following, that means that Isaiah 27, 9 and following, is likewise directly tied to the coming of the Lord of Matthew 25. Now, here's what we know. Here's what we know without any doubt whatsoever. Paul in Romans chapter 11, 25 to 27, and again, folks, I developed this extensively in my book, Elijah Has Come. If you'll go to my website, donkpreston.com, bibleprophecy.com, go to the store, do a search for Elijah Has Come. And if you order the book and send me a note saying you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, I'll refund your shipping. Now, also, I better mention this because our time is running out, right? For the rest of March 2023, U.S. orders only. Pardon me, my two books, AD 70, A Shadow of the Real End, ? And The Element Shall Melt with Fervent Heat. If you purchase these books separately and paid separate shipping, you'd spend right at $48. But once again, for the rest of March 2023, U.S. orders only, total delivered price, $32.50. So go to my website, donkpreston.com, bibleprophecy.com. Right up at the very top, Alan Morton, my fantastic webmaster, has put up a wonderful banner there. Just click it, order the books. You'll be absolutely thrilled that you did. But throw in Elijah. Get the free shipping on it, okay? So, if it is true, all right, if it is true that Isaiah 65:66 equates to Matthew 25:31 and following, then it must be that Isaiah 59 equates to Matthew 25:31 and following. And if that's true, it must be true that Isaiah 27:9 and following are equal to Matthew 25:31 and following. Why do I say that? Because Paul in Romans chapter 11, and so all Israel shall be saved, for this is my covenant with them when I take away their sin. The Redeemer shall come out of Zion. That's Isaiah 59:17 following. This is my covenant with them, Isaiah 59, when I take away their sin. Isaiah 27:9 and following. So Paul, now watch this, Paul in Romans 11:25 and following is anticipating the fulfillment of Isaiah 27, Isaiah 59. But in anticipating the fulfillment of Isaiah 27 and 59, which he cites, he is likewise anticipating the fulfillment of Isaiah 66. Oh, and, 65 and 66. Do you see the chain? Do you see the dots being connected here? Paul was anticipating the coming of the Lord for salvation at the time of judgment. I've just got to read this. I've got to take the time to do this. Isaiah 27. Remember, Paul quotes from this text. I don't know of any scholars that deny that. Are there some? Maybe. Paul was anticipating the fulfillment of Isaiah 27. Now, some commentators, Kim Riddlebarger, for instance, in defense of amillennialism, says that, when Paul quotes from Isaiah 27 and Isaiah 59 to speak of the salvation of Israel at the coming of the Lord, he is actually talking about the incarnation. Ladies and gentlemen, there's not a word in Isaiah 27 or Isaiah 59 about the incarnation of Jesus. It's the coming of the Lord in the judgment of Israel to take away their sin. Again, at the coming of the Lord in judgment of Israel. It has no direct application to the incarnation. For his prediction, for his statement and position to be correct, Kim Riddlebarger literally, as many other commentators who take the same position on Romans 11 and apply it to the incarnation, they have to completely and totally ignore the fact that Paul is saying Isaiah 57 or 59, Isaiah 59 are the verses that he's drawing from to be fulfilled at the coming of the Lord out of Zion in judgment of Israel. They don't even address the issue. They literally do not address the issue. Well, how do you call that proper exegesis? Okay, Isaiah 27. Please catch the power of what this text says. I'm going to start with verse 9. Has he, that's Yahweh, struck Israel as he struck those who struck him? Whole lot of striking going on and what have you. I'm not going to take the time to break this down. I'm just going to continue. Has he, that's Israel, been slain according to the slaughter of those who were slain by him? And the answer to that is in measure. Wait a minute. Has he struck Israel? Yes. Has he slain Israel? Yes. How? By sending her away. Wait a minute. Sending it, Israel, away. How do you partially kill somebody? Has the Lord slain Israel? Yeah, in part. How? By sending her away, him away, if you please. You contended with it, the nation of Israel. He removes it, the nation, by his rough wind in the day of the east wind. Now watch this. Boy, you've got to catch the power of this text. Therefore, by this, by what? What's the antecedent? The sending away of Israel. By this, the slaying of Israel. That's Isaiah 65 and 66. The Lord God will slay you. By this, the iniquity of Jacob will be covered. This is the fruit of taking away his sin. Wait a minute, Lord. How are you going to take away Israel's sin by sending her away? How are you going to take away Israel's sin? By partially killing her. This is the fruit, this is all the fruit of taking away his sin. When, boy, you know, futurists don't like time statements, do they? They don't like time statements at all. They really, really, really don't like time statements of at hand, quickly, shortly, soon, in a very, very little while. Well, this is not a statement of at hand, quickly, shortly, soon, in a very, very little while. It is an emphatic declaration, nonetheless, of the time when God would come, obviously in the person of Jesus Christ, to take away Israel's sin. The Redeemer shall come out of Zion. When he makes the stones of the altar like chalk stones that are beaten to dust, wooden images and incense altars shall not stand. Yet the fortified city will be desolate, the habitation forsaken and left like a wilderness. There the calf will feed. There it will lie down and consume its branches. When its boughs are withered, they will be broken off. The women come and set them on fire. For, here's the reason why the temple would be turned into desolation. Here's the reason why the altar would be turned into chalkstone when the Lord would take away the sin of Israel. For it is a people of no understanding. Now, listen, folks, this is a direct citation from Deuteronomy 32 and verse 18. I'm out of time, but the Lord is saying, at the time that I'm going to save Israel, obviously the righteous remnant, is the time when the altar would be destroyed, the temple would be destroyed, the city, the fortified city would be destroyed. When? Because this is a people of no understanding. Now look, Deuteronomy 32:18. The Lord was predicting, stated 3 times, number 1, it would be in the last days. Deuteronomy 31:29 and following. Number 2, twice in Deuteronomy 32, it is stated that the Song of Moses, which is Deuteronomy 32, is about Israel's last days. her last end. Now look, folks, when Isaiah 27 is quoting from the prophecy of Israel's last days and applies it to the time when the altar would be destroyed, the temple would be destroyed, the city would be destroyed, what right do we have to say, oh no, that couldn't be true? No. Can't be true. And yet here is Paul quoting and applying Isaiah 27 to the yet future to him coming of the Lord for the salvation of Israel. But Isaiah 27, once again, would be when the temple, the altar, the people, the city would be destroyed. Folks, we have no choice if we're going to be honest Bible students. Now, if Romans 11 is the coming of the Lord for the salvation of Israel, as it clearly is, in fulfillment of Isaiah 27, Isaiah 59, as it clearly is, then since Isaiah 66 is drawing on Isaiah 59, the Lord will fully repay his enemies, and since Matthew 25, 31 and following is drawing on Isaiah 66, prediction of the coming of the Lord for the bringing of the new creation, that means that Matthew chapter 25, 31 and following is likewise about the time of the fulfillment of Isaiah 59 and Isaiah 27, the coming of the Lord in the judgment of Israel for shedding innocent blood, when the temple, the altar, and the people and the city would be destroyed. And folks, that was in AD 70. I'm out of time. Tomorrow, we will continue our examination of some of the objections that have been offered to my brand new book, Temple to Telos. You really don't want to miss it. So I'll see you on the flip side.